Hello everybody, my name is Benny and I'm the Fool's Apprentice. So today I decided we would do something a little bit different. You know, up to this point I've really been working on doing Lisa Papez's tarot and training wheels. But today I thought we'd do something a little bit different. I decided that we would go over my practice with the Oracle cards for November. I purchased the Mysteries of the Black Madonna tarot deck not too long ago. And I decided that in the month of November, I would actually do a spiritual practice for the whole month of November with this deck. Well, I will say that this deck has been a challenge. And you'll see exactly what I mean when I show you the deck and the guidebook that came with it. But I have been enjoying the deck quite a bit. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to flip the camera over and we'll get right into the deck. Just give me a second. Okay, I'm back. So as I mentioned, we're going to be discussing the Mysteries of the Black Madonna tarot deck by Hennette Grobler. I'm sure I slaughtered that name. So I saw this deck, of course, on one of the YouTube videos, and I was really taken by it. In fact, it was the second deck by this creator that I saw. The first deck was the Mysteries of Mary tarot deck, which I absolutely love. And I'm actually going to be using that deck as my practice for the whole month of December. But for November, I decided that I would stick with one particular deck in the mornings when I do my spiritual practice. And one day I'll make a video on what my spiritual practice looks like. But hence to say that this is one of the things that I do. I take time to sit with this deck. I read the guidebook and then I meditate. So this deck is extremely well made and beautifully packaged. It comes with this amazing book that, it's a thick book and it's extremely well written. Like very well written. I will say that when I read this, sometimes I have to read it a couple of times, the paragraph or the whole section on each card, because it's filled with a wealth of information, a lot of historical information, parts around the country, rituals that I'm not really familiar with, and, vocabulary related to those places and spiritual practices that I'm not accustomed to even pronouncing. So sometimes it could feel dense, and so I have to really sometimes take my time in reading it. But it comes with this beautiful book, and then it comes packaged in this really luxurious pouch. It is absolutely beautiful, great quality, and it has gold lining with the gold tassels on the end. And so when you open it up, the backs are stunning. Look at the backs. Absolutely beautiful. And of course you could see that they match the book. But I just love these cards. So in the front, you'll see that she has a cover card, which is also stamped with an Auspice Maria symbol. And I didn't know that. That's actually something that I read in the guidebook. So, don't give me any credit there. But it's very well made. Can you hear that? And you can fold it. And it'll bounce back. And it will keep a slight bend. But, when you use cards, that's what happens. But you lay it out, it'll go right back. But look at that. Isn't that beautiful? This is absolutely beautiful. So this deck is a little bit different as the cards, the suits are called differently than what we're accustomed to. So they have the holy wells, which are the cups, the holy trees, which are the wands, the black veil, which are the swords, and the living stones, which are the pentacles. Now, this deck retails right now for $190. I know that's a lot. She doesn't make a lot of these. She does them in batches. I think they come in batches like of 50s. Let me see. And she signs each one. So this one, oh, let me see. So that, see how she signs the book? But let me see. Oh, somewhere. I don't remember where. Where did I see it? It gives you what number it is out of the deck. I'll find it. I'll find it. But she only makes like 50 of these at a time, I believe. And they are beautiful. And it took her 5 years of research and traveling to get all the information she needed to make this particular deck. And what she does is, once she gathers all this information and she prays and meditates and does all the stuff that she normally does for each and every card, what she actually does is she creates an actual shrine. So every photo or every card that you see here is actually a photo from a shrine that she built based on a specific Black Madonna from somewhere around the world, which I can understand why it took 5 years. I think that is spectacular. So these the card stock for these cards are 380 GSM. They have a matte laminate finish, and she created 79 shrines for this particular deck. And like it's a chunky deck, you know. In fact, I don't think I have large hands for a man, but it's a hard deck for me to handle. So what I will do is, I won't do it right now, but I'll give you what I do is I just shuffle them like this and let them fall, and it shuffles just fine. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna flip through the cards. I'm not really gonna say anything because I think the cards speak for themselves. I'm gonna zoom in so we can get a better view of each card, because I really want you to have the opportunity to appreciate these cards. And I'm trying to figure out the angle with my camera. Okay, there we go. All right, so we're just going to flip through the cards. I might say a few things here and there, but they're absolutely amazing. Well, you know what? Let me go through the book. So each book has we'll go through a card, and it has this big section. So this is a 6 of the Holy Wells, Our Lady of Lassie, the Black Madonna of Bliss. And then she'll discuss, you know, this card in depth. And then what I particularly do is, from the reading, something will really stand out for me. And that is what I end up meditating on. And as I meditate, I just let my mind just flow free as I think about the card. I might even look at the image. Maybe I'll go back to the book. But eventually, a spiritual reading will come up for me. And what I've been doing is that I've been taking that card and that reading, and I've been posting it on Instagram. I have an Instagram of the same name, The Fool's Apprentice. So I want to read this, and this is how she ends up. I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to work my way down. This is her practice in working with these cards. So before I start with my sacred work, I put frankincense and myrrh granules onto lit charcoal. I still use incense that I brought back from the Black Madonna of Marseilles, as well as the monks of San Lucia and in Bagnola, and a tiny bit of rose incense from Saint Therese of Lisieux. I always have fresh lemons and fresh flowers on my work surface. I purify my own energy and the energy of the whiteboard that I work on with the sacred water. Then I anoint myself with a blend of rose and lemon oil. At the end of the session, I close the energies by putting out the candles and closing everything down, and by closing the door to my studio. Each deck is concentrated to Mary. When they arrive from the printers, they are open and wrapped in my studio on top of pristine white tissue paper stamped with the Auspis Maria symbol that I use for protection. Once the decks and books and statues are wrapped, they are sprinkled with the blend of healing waters and blessed rose petal water from St. Teresa Mas in Lunix, as well as rose of lemon oil. Each deck is sent out to be used as a sacred altar and sacrament dedicated to the sacred being in yourself and your personal relationship with that. I think that's beautiful. And so, for some reason, I really do have a very spiritual connection with these, even though at times it can be a struggle based on the reading. And as you can see, like this, look how beautiful that is. And so everything, like it's in a frame, and this is inset. And I've seen some photos on her website. So this is actually a frame, like a shadow box. And so she creates this whole thing. So every item that you see in these flowers, those leaves, the Madonna, the goose, and everything is something that she puts in there individually, which if you look at all the cards, that's an enormous amount of work. And I absolutely have great respect for this woman and everything that she does in creating these for us to be able to enjoy. So I'm just going to put these cards and see where they go. Okay, so now I'm going to flip the camera over and I'll see you in less than a second. Okay, I'm back. So that is a beautiful deck. Like I said, it is. There's no way I can do a spread with this deck. There's just too much information in that guidebook for me to just digest one card, much less two or three. I tend to do three card spreads with Oracle decks, and I'm trying to do that with tarot decks, but the one card is more than enough for me. And really, because it doesn't really follow the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck, I'm okay with that because the information is just so unique to this particular deck. What I'm going to do is I am going to link her website. Right now, she's taking pre-orders for both decks, the Mysteries of the Black Madonna Tarot deck and the Mysteries of Mary Tarot deck as well. Next month, I'll do a posting on that deck near the end of the month so you can see what those look like. If you thought these were beautiful, wait till you see those decks. But I have really been enjoying myself with this particular deck. It's really getting me to focus on, my spirituality in a way that's very different for me. I get to be very still and very present. I get to really contemplate quite a bit of what the reading or what stood out in the reading, because like I said, there's a lot. And really what I try to do is I try to find the question within those paragraphs. And sometimes it's very easy to find, sometimes it's not. Once in a while, probably two or three times, what I had to do is I just thought about the reading and I just let something come up very organically. And that would be the message for the day and what I needed to carry for the day. And because I do post my card and readings on Instagram, what I do is like halfway through the day, I'll just get on Instagram, I'll look at my the tarot card, and I will read what it is that I wrote as like a midday reminder of what I need to focus on for the day. I hope that you've enjoyed this deck. I absolutely love it. For me, it was worth the money. I didn't pay as much as 190, but it wasn't that much of a difference. I do know that she has to charge a little more, because inflation, but also because her original printer isn't doing her cards anymore. And she's actually, from what I read on the website, she's actually using more than one printer to make sure that these cards come out the way she wants them. And like I said, for me, well worth the money. If you're into the Black Madonna or would like to develop a spiritual practice with the Black Madonna, these cards I think would be really good for that. So with that, my name is Benny and I'm the Fool's Apprentice. And until next time, have a good day.